If you clicked on this video, that means you probably love Splatoon 3 just as much as I do. Hi, I'm Waiko Jacko, aka the Goochipper Warlord. In today's video, we're going to discuss some ideas and topics that we could perhaps improve Splatoon 3 in the year 2026. So buckle in, comment, subscribe if you're new to the channel, and let's get into it. First of all, I feel like there's a lot of things that just don't make sense of why we can't access some features in the game currently. The first being challenge modes. If you're like me and you never really participated in challenge modes, essentially what they were was there'd be certain modifications made to the players or to the weapons or to the special weapons or the objectives, where unlike the normal gameplay, there'd be some funky things happening. Like for example, there was a Rainmaker mode where not only there was 2 Rainmakers, but sometimes a Rainmaker would shoot out 3 shots. Or my other favourite was the large tower control tower. Other mentionable ones were you had very fast swim speed, or you had moon-like gravity where you would jump and you would just keep on soaring. Now the reason why I'm bringing these up is because, well, if you harken back to good old Super Smash Bros. Melee, they introduced Special Smash. And in that, they had things such as Camera Mode, Stamina Mode, Super Sudden Death, Giant Melee, Tiny Melee, Invisible Melee, Fixed Camera, Single Button Mode, and Slow-Mo Melee. However, that has also been changed in later games of the series, where you can adjust certain costumes or certain items on one's head. Now, while Splatoon 3 doesn't have items, we do have abilities, and as we have mentioned before, there were challenge modes where you had super fast swim and super high jump. And the beauty behind that was you didn't really have to unlock anything or get much progress into those games to unlock Special Smash. However, same can't be said for challenge modes or for implementing them into private battles. One thing I will admit though is a lot of those challenges were sub-weapon only challenges, or using weapons that had a certain kit or a certain special that you could use only. Now that's fine because obviously you have the weapon selection to change that, so to make sure, like if you're having friends playing in a private battle, you can tell them, alright, just use all good tubers, or you know, use weapons that only have Ultra Stamp. That's easy because you can coordinate with others. However, when it comes to private battles and if you're streaming and you want to make it people go super fast, you should be able to have challenge modes unlockable in private battles, and you should be able to modify, for example, swim speed. You can change run speed. You should be able to change jumping speed or height, you know, just have things where in Special Smash we could adjust so much things for Splatoon, because I think there's so much fun you can have in private battles. Having crazy looking Rainmaker shots or gigantic towers, that would be so much fun. Why can't we do that in private battles? If there's any modifications you would like, put them in the comment section below. Along with private battles, there's another thing that we can't get to in Splatoon 3 private battles: Tri-Color Turf Wars. Now, I don't want to be cynical here, but this is utter silliness that we have not been able to get Tri-Color in private battles. What is it? What's so hard about it? What's so hard about it? We had shifty stations in version 5.0 in Splatoon 2. We're up to version 11 ? And we've had no implications of challenge modes or turf wars, tricolors in private battles. Honestly, it wouldn't be too hard to implement that because there were only so many stages used for tricolor. In fact, some of them were used twice, like Manta Maria. There is one map in particular that would be greatly appreciated, and that is the Great Splatlands Bowl, the very stage that we had the final Grand Fest match on. Having that map would probably be the cherry on top when it comes to tricolor in private battle. Customization is often a topic that can be, you know, looked down upon like, no, you don't need to have customization. And well, I'm speaking in the ways of, you know, just basic stuff where you can have certain skins of weapons. Now, while yes, you could argue that we've got those other 5 or 6 versions of the splatter shot, why do we need that many? That other branded of the weapons has also different skins. I feel like there's just like a minute thing you could change, such as having the color of your team ink also be reflected on the weapon. That would be just a nice touch. Speaking of team colors, Splatoon 3 modded is a very fun thing, but also very risky. FlexLine gave you the ultimate access to be able to change many different things, and not just custom colors. While yes, there was lots of fun, funky looking colours such as rainbow and blood and black and stuff that made you question things, there were some simple options such as muting the music. And oh my goodness, that was such a blissful thing, because as a charger, you like to hear players coming from the other side of the map, or you want to know where the enemy's sharking upon you. I mean, while yes, you should have a good enough trained ear because you've been playing this game for so long, you should be able to know, it just adds a lot more of intensity to the game where you're trying to really lock in. But if you like the music, I feel like another thing that you should be able to do is not just play the music from the standalone game, but include the music from the DLC, like Side Order. Shout out Demolish 2, best song. While I'm all saying this, I'm realizing more and more that this is becoming like a Super Smash Brothers game type thing, where obviously you can also have control over the sound and volume and what song could be chosen or played at. But then again, that should be a simple thing that you could just fix in Splatoon 3. You should be able to have control over what you want to listen to. One more thing I want to mention too is free camera. Now in FlexLine, I had so much fun using FlexLine to use free cam to capture really cool moments or poses for when you're in a game, and they were so good. Even so though, we can honestly say that Nintendo themselves use modded switches to get this similar captured imagery for their clips on social media or whatever. They have got clear usage of it. There's no denying it. I'm not going to bring up proof because that's too hard to find, but they have got it. Trust me, they've used it. But honestly, again, another thing that shouldn't be too hard to implement. Just a free camera. Just let us have fun times to look around the camera and take photos of stuff. Honestly. Now this last one may be a bit controversial, or you know, it might split a few opinions, but the whole thing was Splatoon 3, and it's been out for 3 years, and there's still no whole third kits for every weapon. Now the whole thing with 3 weapons is that it's going to be hard to absolutely balance everything. I went through and counted how many weapons from each class are missing a third kit. There are 6 shooters that are missing, 2 rollers, 4 chargers. Shockingly, 6 slosher / buckets are missing. The only one that has a third kit is the bread bringer. 4 splatlings, 3 dualies, 2 umbrellas, 5 blasters. Only the ink brush has the third kit. Sorry, it hasn't got a third kit. 1 stringer, and the decavitator also haven't got a third kit. And I can imagine with so many weapons through so many different classes, it would be impossible to include third kits for everything. And so I don't blame the developers for not implementing 3 kits for every weapon, but then at the same time, you know, it kind of ruins the vibe, the gimmick about everything being 3. But anyway, I can understand. Maybe introduce more specials, but it's a bit late in the game to be doing that, because Splatoon 3 has been out for so long now. So that'll wrap up the video, folks. Thank you guys for watching and making it this far. Again, let me know your thoughts and comments in the section below. And yeah, I really do like this game so much, but the problem is it feels like there's just a lack of content, an extra bit of content that we need for this game, while having challenge modes behind a timed wall, timed locked wall or whatever, and just implement special modes into private battles. Tricolors, come on. I mean, customizations I can understand. If they don't want to do it, I can understand it, but it'd be just such a nice, simple inclusion. Thank you guys for watching. Let me know your thoughts, and I'll see you all next time.